What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Happy holidays. We are doing a holiday makeup look today, and it's very much the trend that's going around on TikTok. It's called the It's Cold trend, and it's basically a makeup look where you kind of try and make yourself look cold, like a little bit bitten by winter, and I'm obsessed with it. It's very, very, very easy to achieve. We are not even wearing any foundation today. It feels light and comfortable on the skin. This is definitely a look that you can keep on like all day Thanksgiving, Christmas, any holidays, holiday parties. Like, I think you guys are gonna love this one. And I just love how it turned out. So if you wanna see how I got this look right here, keep on watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go, and let's do it. All right, guys, we are starting with Lumify, as always. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but my eyes are just always red. Maybe I don't sleep enough. Or I don't know if it's like an allergy thing in this house. Just wait. If you haven't seen me use this yet, it's incredible. It also just makes your makeup pop. So that's the first thing I'm doing. The second thing I'm doing is I'm using this tool that I got on Amazon from Plum Beauty. Oh my God, the way it contours my face. The way it gives me cheekbones and a defined jaw. Like, do you see how it kind of squeezes? Just wait, I'm gonna do this for like 10 seconds and you'll see how much more lifted and sculpted the right side of my face is. Do you see? Do you see how much more sculpted? Okay, and then with makeup on top, it's like a whole new thing, but it's really wild. I love it. It also just feels good. Gets the blood flow pumping in the face. Does a little lymphatic drainage. So I have been loving this. Honestly, if you just do this for like 2 to 3 minutes, it makes such a difference. Look at that. Like, you notice that, right? Like, you can see, I'm not making that up. Okay, so for a base today, we're gonna do something a little crazy. We're gonna make a little cocktail. I feel like for this type of look, you might assume that we're doing like a full coverage foundation moment, but I find that my makeup like lasts longer and just overall looks better when I use less product, but also less of like a full coverage like look. And my skin, it changes constantly, but right now, this little combo has been so nice. Okay, we are chiseled as much as we're going to be. So here's what I've been doing. I've been doing Say Glowy Skin Tint, and I'm doing like a pump of that on the back of my hand. And you can be really liberal with this stuff because it's so light. It's not creamy. It's more like light serum-y, but any like glowing product. So if you want to do Flawless Filter, whatever, I've been doing that. And then I'm mixing my favorite BB cream in the world, Dr. Jart. I mix the shades Fair Light and Light Medium, depending on how tan I am. I'm like a little tan right now on my body. My tan has pretty much come off my face at this point because I've been exfoliating so much. So I'm gonna do a little tiny little pump of that in the light medium shade. And then, I'm sorry, yeah, light medium. And then I'm gonna mix in a little of my Kosas foundation. I told you this is a cocktail. And this is the shade Neutral 200. I just feel like the tones of these end up working really nice together. The foundation's a little bit lighter. I don't know what it is. The whole vibe of this is amazing. I like to just like mix it on the back of my hand. So find products that like work for you and then try different things out, and you would be shocked to see like how you can make your makeup look on your skin. So now I'm just applying this all over. It feels so light. It feels like there's barely anything on my skin. And honestly, for like a holiday, I don't want to feel like I have a ton of makeup on, and I don't want to feel like I have to keep applying. And I find like just a lighter coverage look on these days ends up, like I said, just lasting longer, looking better longer, and feeling nicer when I'm like, you know, just around the house, hanging with family. I don't want to look all caked up, but I definitely want to look like nice and put together. Do you see how beautiful the combo of that is? Like, you can still see my skin poking through. You can still see some marks, some discoloration, some hyperpigmentation. But honestly, I'm not trying to hide all that. I'm just trying to even out my skin so that I look like healthy and naturally me. How pretty is that? Like, I can't even. Okay, so then we're gonna get the majority of our coverage from our concealer, and I'm gonna use Kosas today. I've really been dabbling back and forth with Charlotte and Kosas, and it really depends. This one's a little more full coverage, the Charlotte is. I did the like TikTok viral concealer hack yesterday and I really liked it. So I'm gonna try it again with a little less product because I used a lot of product. But basically, you're just applying your concealer here, which is more than I normally do. You guys know I don't really hit here. Usually I do here and here. But then you bring it down the side of your nose. It's like a little bit of a nose contour. Then you go around your nose. And my nose always like cracks with my makeup. I feel like it's inevitable for me, but I'm always red too. So I do need concealer there. And then you go around your mouth, which I feel like is a missed spot when it comes to concealer for me, because I always have like dryness and like my lips are never even. And then down the center of the chin, just like that. Okay, and then you're gonna go from the corner of your mouth up, just like that. That's gonna sculpt the face. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, and then I'm always doing the center of my forehead, and I'll do a little exclamation point down my nose. Okay, time to blend. You can use a beauty blender, but I actually feel like using a brush for this is better. I've been obsessed with this concealer brush. It's the Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty collab. And I'm just pressing this in. I'm not swiping. I feel like with a beauty blender, it's gonna eat a little bit more of your product. So I'm just pushing this in and you can see how beautifully it blends out. I'm not swiping, like I said, just pushing. When you get down here, you wanna pull down, don't pull up, because that's gonna defeat the purpose of like the sculpt. Same thing with like the line near your nose, just be careful with that. You don't want it to move too much. You kind of want the concealer to stay exactly where you placed it. I'm adding a little more like of the excess to my lid and my inner corner. Okay, so here it is all blended out. Honestly, feel like that looks great. We obviously need a little color. I'm using any excess I have on my brush to cover up any dark spots I have. I'm not going on with more concealer. All right, so quickly, because I feel that that concealer needs to be set pretty quickly under the eye, I'm grabbing my Givenchy powder in my lid. The shade is Rose. It's the Prism Libre powder, and then my little Amazon puff. And I'm just gonna lightly set my under eye. I'm not gonna set anywhere else yet because I don't feel like I need to, but my under eye, I do feel like I need to set that relatively fast with this concealer. It doesn't crease too much, just like that. Okay, we'll come back to that. Now I'm gonna pop on my brows. I've really been loving this brow pencil that I told you guys about from my Sephora sale haul. It's the, oh, this isn't it, incorrect. Okay, here it is. This is the Gimme Brow Volumizing Pencil. And I don't know how it does it, but something about like the fibers on the brush, this is the shade 3.5, it just makes the hairs look like nice and fluffy. Focusing this on the tail of my brow mostly, and then just filling in any sparse areas, and you can see I'm just doing like little hair-like strokes. Just gonna really lightly fill these in, but my brows are pretty bushy at the moment, so I'm not gonna go crazy because they end up, if I fill them in like fully, they end up looking really, really thick. Nothing wrong with thick brows, but sometimes it can be like overdone on my part. But do you see how like fluffy that makes them? I feel like it like really, I don't know. It really does volumize them. It's almost like a powder. It's like a pencil powder. Hard to explain. All right, and then I told you guys I had really been liking the Kosas brow gel, which I have, but I'll tell ya, I don't feel like my brows stay as well with that brow gel. And this always happens, but I always end up going back to my 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. I do like the Air Brow. It's good, but I don't know. I just think my brows, it might just be my hair, these just stay so much better. They don't move when I use this, and I just feel like with every other product, they move, and I don't want them moving. You want them to stay right there. Okay, we need a little bronzer. Say Sun Melt in light bronze. It's a warm, hold on, my mom's calling me. Yes, I do like that. I'd like, you know, homemade without having to actually make it.
Yes, I know you do.
But
I think this one looks really good.
Okay, I trust you.
Okay, all right, and I can, let me see, it says keep frozen, bake 400 degrees for 1 hour. So I could cook it that morning and bring it over.
I can put it in the oven, I think. I mean, unless the turkey is taking up the whole oven.
Yeah, so once the turkey is out, you can just put the pie in.
Yeah, that's fine. Because then it'll smell good in the
Have
house.
that for later.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll just pick up this one. Then you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, thank you.
And I will, I'll probably just drop it over to you when I see Logan later.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay? All right, perfect.
Thanks, Mom.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Thanksgiving's a big deal in my house. All right, we're gonna set now with my Charlotte Airbrush Flawless. I was gonna do bronzer. Actually, no. We are gonna do bronzer because it's cream. We're using Say, and we're using that same BK Beauty. Guys, this brush, it's like all I use. I washed my brushes yesterday, and it didn't even matter. They're all still over there because this is the only brush I use. I was like, as long as this one is dry, I can still do my makeup. But sometimes this bronzer stresses me out. Like, I feel like it gets patchy. Let's go back to Charlotte. I don't know, I'm not trying to ruin this look. Any cream bronzer you have is fine, or powder, whatever. Yeah, I just like this one more. It's like, the Say one can get weird. I don't know what it is. Yeah, this one is just tried and true. It's reliable. So I'm basically just bronzing in between where we use that concealer. I'm gonna grab a smaller brush and go down the nose. Bring that up into the brow. Do we need a zoom? Just want you guys to be able to see me. Up into the brow with that and then down the bridge of the nose. This little brush is a Real Techniques. It's in that little kit I always tell you guys about on Amazon. Just trying to like diffuse that line a little bit with my finger. This is all I do to contour my nose. That line right there, when you add that line right there, it makes your nose look like it's like up a little bit more, like it kind of goes up at the end. So if you like that look. Also just going to put a little bit of this on the lid and then kind of upward to lift right here. A little under the lip. All right, and then we're also gonna do a little bit to carve out that jaw. Just slims the face immediately. All right, now we're gonna grab that Charlotte powder. And I started using a puff with this instead of a brush, and I feel like it made a world of a difference. This is the shade 2. I kind of wish I had a lighter shade, but so I'm not doing this on my under eye because it's a little darker. I'm kind of just doing this where I bronzed. And this just makes it stay and it makes it so smooth. See how it's a little bit darker? It really does give your face like this airbrush. Oh, cute, look at this. This is my postpartum hair loss growing back. It like makes all the pores disappear. It's really wild. And something about using it with the puff. So yeah, I wanna get like a shade 1 lighter than this so that I can set the brighter areas. But I usually use Givenchy for that, which I will do. Let's dip back into Givenchy for about the nose, next to the nose, middle of the forehead. So even though we don't have a lot of foundation on, this makeup is gonna last because we are setting everything in place and really creating that shape with our setting powder, just like that. Update, that pie was $30. My mom left. She said that's too expensive. All right, so I'm dusting that powder away. Honestly, my skin looks so flawless with that little combo. We'll add a little powder bronzer in a minute. This is a great nose contour too. Not to toot my own horn, but now we're gonna go and we're gonna start the like, it's cold. I don't know if you guys have seen this trend on TikTok, but it's like a makeup trend where you like look like you're cold. I think it's so cute. Some people might think it's too much blush, but I personally love it. So I'm using Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Happy. You guys know this is like a ride or die blush, specifically this shade. We're gonna put it pretty high up. I'm just gonna do 1 dot there, 1 dot there. This is one of those products, that was probably too much on my nose. This is one of those products you can use after you've used powder. I don't know why, but it works. Okay, so now we're just going to really lightly buff this into the skin. We're gonna do this little C shape around the tail of the brow and just push this in. It's so pretty. How pretty is that? And I'm gonna bring this now a little, like excess, a little down onto the apple of the cheek. Kind of marry the bronzer and the blush together now. Be careful on the nose because like I said, this shit is pigmented. So I'm kind of just blending in that way, and then same thing over here. The glow it gives too. So pretty. So now we have life back in our face. See the difference? All right, I'm just putting a little setting powder from the lid or whatever setting powder you use just on my eyelid, just to make sure it's not creasing. And I'm really not gonna do any eyeshadow because there's really no point. I feel like it kind of takes away from this look. So we're just gonna do a little mascara, which I'm gonna use my One Size Fantasize. I have been grabbing for this one more than Jones Road lately. I think it's just because I'm at the end of my Jones Road. Well, that's not the only reason. This mascara is really good, but I do keep grabbing for it. It's awesome. If you try Jones Road and you don't like it, maybe try this one because look how good that is. It took 2 seconds. You don't need much of it. And I'm only doing top lashes. I know that's controversial, but for this look, I want to keep it really kind of light. Also, look how white my eyes are now. So I don't even like need a liner or like a wing or anything because I feel like the lashes are defined and the whites of my eyes are so white. And they just kind of pop on their own without too much extra help. So I did this look yesterday and I fell in love with it and I was like, oh, I'm filming this. I'm filming this for them because I thought you guys would love it. Mascara is on. Now the question is, do we do lip liner? I didn't do it yesterday and I honestly loved it. I felt very free. Something about lip liner, it's just like, it's kind of annoying because it like doesn't always stay. If it gets messed up, you look crazy. So especially when you're eating and you're like around family, I don't know. I feel like if you don't need it, don't do it. So we're skipping it today. I'm using my Lawless Forget the Filler. This is her plumping, smoothing, and nourishing gloss. And it's in the shade Cherry Vanilla. It is so pretty. Look at how it goes on. Just make sure you get all the makeup off your lips. I licked it off, which I don't recommend. Probably just take a towel instead of ingesting chemicals. It also has this like amazing little doe foot. So it glides right on your lips. And I kind of like over applying this, like, so it looks kind of like I'm really cold. You know what I mean? And then the last thing I'm gonna add, again, you don't have to do this because this is controversial, is some fake freckles. I'm just using my brow pencil. And I just think a couple of them, really subtle. I just like randomly put them on and then I'm gonna diffuse them with my finger. Also, I don't recommend using this pencil because it's not like a circle, but this is what I have right now, so it's fine. This stuff blends out so easily that you can be kind of crazy with it. Like, yeah, this looks insane, right? Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. We're just gonna use our finger and we're just gonna start kind of blending them away, but not fully. Like, see how much better that looks? Some people hate this. Pretty sure my dad told me that I looked older with them at one point. So it's obviously personal preference. Don't get your panties in a bunch. I think it's cute. I think it just adds a little bit of like a youthful, I think it makes me look younger, but whatever. Okay, I didn't do this yesterday, but I do feel like I could be a little more pink right now. I don't know if I used more blush yesterday, so you could definitely go on with a little more happy, but I think I'm just gonna use my Pinkgasm from Charlotte, because this is also a highlighter. I'm just gonna do like that much on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna do like 2 dots. I'm gonna do another little bit on my nose. And let's use that same brush. This is just gonna add even more glow and even more like pinky, chilly vibes. So this is if you want a more highlighted version of this. And see how it's a little more pink too? I mean, there go the freckles, but they're still there, hiding under there. Yeah, I don't even think you need any shadow. I think you could do a teeny bit like powder bronzer if you want, but I feel like my bronzer on my face is looking good right now. Last thing I'm gonna add is a little bit of my Spotlight, same product as that Pinkgasm Charlotte product, but in the shade Spotlight. And I'm putting this on a brush and I'm just gonna put it in the inner corner just to brighten up this inner corner. And I feel like this is a very holiday type of thing to do, is to add a little of this. And then maybe we hit the tip of our nose too. And maybe we hit, I always get carried away, the brow bone. But see how that just opens up the eyes a little bit more, and I just like the pop that it gives right in the inner corner. Okay, I think we're done. Look at how the lip, like, not dries down, but like how it settles on your lips. Like, you don't need lip liner. It's so plumping. It's so glossy and pretty. Also, I feel like gloss is really easy to reapply during the day. Am I too white? I feel like I could be a little more tan with this dark hair. But let's back you up. So that is the look. Last thing I'm gonna do, because I feel like it adds so much, I got this colorful scarf from Amazon. And this takes the look to the next level because it brings out the pinks on the face, and it's cozy and it's cute. What do we think? And then I also have my chunky little Huggies in. Also got these on Amazon. My hair is stuck in them, but aren't they adorable? I love them. So there it is, guys. That's the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Honestly, loved putting this look together. It's very simple too. Like, I feel like this is very user-friendly. You guys can absolutely do this one. Let me know if you try it out. As always, everything will be linked below for you. Leave a comment and say, hey, love talking to you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.